Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's talk about a story that's been quietly brewing but has huge implications for the Bears and the entire NFC North. You know, the NFL offseason is always full of surprises, twists, and turns, and this year is no different. Recently, we saw the Detroit Lions make some interesting moves, especially when it comes to their offensive line. They re-signed Dan Skipper, a veteran tackle, to add some depth to their offensive line. But incredibly, just days later, they announced that Skipper would be released ahead of the roster deadline. Yeah, it's a shocker, especially given his solid offseason performance and the fact that he looked like a perfect backup to their injury-prone tackle, Taylor Decker. And here's the kicker, Skipper, who's been in the league for 6 years now, finds himself without a team with just 2 weeks left before the start of the regular season. It's a tough spot for any player, but it's also a fascinating puzzle for NFL teams looking for reliable depth or maybe even a potential starter at tackle. Skipper's versatility and experience make him an appealing option, especially for teams in need of reinforcement on the offensive line. We all know how crucial the offensive line is, protecting the quarterback, opening running lanes, and just keeping your offense moving smoothly. Skipper brings that veteran presence, that stability that teams crave when the games get intense. Now the question is, who will scoop him up? Because honestly, any team needing a dependable tackle could benefit from his experience. But if we're talking about the NFC North, the Chicago Bears should definitely be on their radar. Yeah, I said it. The Bears have a real need at the left tackle position right now. And it's not just me saying that. It's a fact that their depth chart at this spot isn't exactly inspiring. Right now, they're relying heavily on Braxton Jones, who, let's be honest, has been impressive, but is coming off a recent surgery on a broken ankle he sustained late last season. Jones is an excellent pass protector and run blocker, having only allowed 2 hits last season. That's pretty remarkable, but coming back from injury always raises questions about consistency and durability over a full season. And if Jones were to miss any time, the Bears would be in a tricky spot. Ozzie Trapillo, a rookie, is currently the backup. But rookies, as we all know, can be a gamble, especially when you're counting on them to step up and protect your star quarterback. In this case, that quarterback is Justin Fields, who's been showing flashes of brilliance but still needs solid protection to truly unlock his potential. If the Bears want to solidify their offensive line, bringing in a veteran like Skipper makes a lot of sense. It would give them reliable depth, a guy who's been around the block, and who can step in if needed without the team feeling like they're risking everything on unproven talent. Now, let's take a moment here, because I want to emphasize how important this could be for the Bears' overall strategy. Adding Skipper to the roster would not only help in terms of depth, but could also ease the pressure on Trapillo, giving him a bit of a safety net. It's also about peace of mind. When you're facing a tough division like the NFC North, where the Packers, Lions, and Vikings all have their own strengths, having a dependable veteran tackle can be the difference between a winning season and a disappointing one. Remember, last season, the Bears' offensive line struggled at times, and protecting Justin Fields is crucial if they want to take that next step and contend seriously for the playoffs. And here's an interesting twist. The Lions releasing Skipper might not just be about roster space. It could be a strategic move. Teams often release players to clear room for new signings or to keep their options open for future negotiations. And in this case, I'd say the Lions might have an eye on bringing Skipper back on a new deal, especially if they're still looking to bolster their pass rush. Za'Darius Smith, for example, has been on their radar, and perhaps they're leaving that door open to bring him back while making room for other depth options like Skipper. Now, think about the connection here. Skipper, a guy who's been in the league for 6 years, has already made enough of an impression to be remembered for that memorable touchdown versus the Buffalo Bills in 2024. and for his role in Dan Campbell's inspiring post-game speech after the game against the Green Bay Packers. Those moments aren't just flashbacks, they're part of his legacy and what he can bring to a team. His leadership, his resilience, his ability to step in when needed, that's what teams value, especially in the crucible of a long NFL season. And just to give you a little broader perspective, the NFL offseason is always a game of chess. Teams are constantly evaluating their rosters, looking for that perfect mix of youth and experience. The Bears, under head coach Matt Eberflus and general manager Ryan Poles, have been building something special. They have a young quarterback in Justin Fields who's eager to prove himself, and they're stacking the roster with talented players. But the offensive line remains a key area where they can improve, and veteran stability like Skipper could be exactly what they need to take that next step. Plus, I can't help but think about the potential for a reunion. Skipper and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson have worked together in Detroit, and that familiarity could make a move to the Bears an attractive option for him. It's not just about the play on the field. Sometimes it's about the chemistry, the understanding of the system, and the trust built over years. If the Bears do bring Skipper in, it could be a smart move, giving them that veteran presence and experience they desperately need on the line. Let's not forget, though, that this is football, things change rapidly. Injuries, roster moves, unexpected breakout players, all of these factors influence the final makeup of the team. But if Skipper is genuinely available, it would be foolish for the Bears to ignore that opportunity. Bringing him in could be a low-cost, high-reward move, especially considering how much he still has to offer. His experience and versatility could be the missing piece that helps Justin Fields stay upright and gives the Bears' offense the stability it needs to succeed. This is what makes the NFL offseason so exciting. It's not just about the big signings or the flashy picks. It's about those subtle, strategic moves that can alter the course of a team's season. And for the Chicago Bears, adding a seasoned veteran like Dan Skipper could be exactly what they need to push through the tough NFC North competition and make a real run at the playoffs, maybe even beyond. The division is getting tougher, with the Lions making bold moves and the Vikings always lurking as contenders, but the Bears are quietly putting together a plan to compete at the highest level. They're investing in their young quarterback, trying to build a solid offensive line, and making smart decisions that could pay off big time. So keep your eyes on this story. I believe Skipper's next move will be a telling sign of the Bears' ambitions this season. Will they bring him in? Will he find a new team? Or could the Lions try to re-sign him? All of these questions are part of the NFL's ongoing chess game, and as fans, we get to watch it unfold in real time. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Skipper would be a good fit for the Bears? Do you believe his experience can make a real difference this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. We're in this together, and every piece of info, every move, every game, it all adds up to what could be an exciting season ahead. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, let's keep that Bears spirit alive.